Welcome. I'm heading to Texas to meet up with MrsFaceless and her family, including Faceless brother-in-law, who will join me on a separate adventure coming shortly. In true explorer fashion, I decided to turn this into a monster road trip. So here we are. It's February and I'm arriving at Little River Falls in Alabama. I have a couple of days planned for this area with some hikes, but we all know how plans tend to go, so fingers crossed. It's mid-afternoon, so there's no rush, but the forecast is looking good for a partially cloudy sky at sunset. Anyway, the first photo stop is a walk back to the bridge to get a good look up and down the stream. Sadly, I picked a day when the tourist info just across the road was closed. Oh hum. The drive here was very nice, exceptionally scenic and such a peaceful place. Welcome to the world's noisiest waterfall. But it's not the noise of the water, is it? So here we are at Little River Falls. Very pretty. It's February. There was more noise. There was more noise is what I said. Difficulty here, other than all of the traffic, is once again trees have grown up right in front of the observation decks. As I was saying, there's a little observation deck down to my right. Trees have grown there, and as you can see straight across, they've built a new observation deck there, or refurbished it, and once again, as you'll see shortly when we go down there, there's growth in front of it. Anyway, here's the shot from the bridge. As I head back to the car, just look at that cloud. Very promising indeed. But with time to burn, what better than a nice cup of coffee? Little River Falls is located within the Little River Canyon National Preserve, near Fort Payne in northeastern Alabama. What makes Little River special is that the river is said to be the longest mountaintop river, flowing for almost its entire length along Lookout Mountain. The 15,000 plus square acres offer a mix of activities like hiking and rafting, history, and if you get away from the traffic, peace and quiet. me just grab a brochure for Mrs. Faceless to read later, before heading to the falls themselves. One thing that immediately jumps out to me is how blue the water is. There's still about an hour until sunset, so let's look for some compositions. With no one else around, I had the freedom of the Gantrian walkway, but there are still only so many variations on the theme. I've got the Fuji XS20 with me today. It's a really good camera. The only gripe I have with it is when the screen turns off when it detects anything near the eyepiece. That's a little annoying, and I'm sure there's a menu setting somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. If you know, let me know. I'm taking separate exposures here, for the sky and then for the falls, to ensure that I can get a nice silky water. Always remember to check your images after snapping away. There's not a lot of movement here, other than the water, but you don't want any motion blur in the trees or bushes, even a swaying tripod. It only takes a few seconds to pull the image up and to zoom in to check for sharpness. If all is good, here's the photo. Now the last photos had no clouds in them, which may have been a clue. As you can see here, although bright, the sky is now solid cloud, with just a thin blue streak on the horizon. And if the sun can break through there, we have a chance. With that thin sliver of hope dangling like the sword of Damocles, I set the composition ready for the sky to light up with fire and splendour. A little tweak of the circular polarizer, a quick test shot to make sure the water is silky, and then the thin break in the cloud wing. It's about 45 minutes to sunset, so my hopes appear to be completely dashed. I think I'll head down to get another composition. This one is of a small tree growing right on the precipice of the falls themselves, clinging on for dear life, lest it end up smashed on the rocks below, just like my chances of a sunset. Zooming it right in, I don't need any sky. In fact, the grey clouds are providing really good even light right now. I take the photo, do a quick check and adjust the shutter speed to get a slightly different exposure on the water flow. Really like this photo, and it's one I probably wouldn't have taken if the sunset was going to happen. Alright, as we suspected, 15 minutes to sunset. Nothing. So another sunset bust. Such is the way. I took this opportunity to play around a little bit more with the Fuji, taking a few more shots of the water. Time was not pressing, as I'd be sleeping in the car tonight and my park up spot was only a few miles away. Having been woken around 4 am-ish by heavy rain with odd thunder mixed in, I was reasonably certain that sunrise would be a bust. And so it was. But around 6 am it was still raining, albeit much lighter, so I took the executive decision to get more sleep. My plan for today was, apart from sunrise, to drive around the canyon loop and then head to another location further west in Alabama. With a flat grey sky at the falls, there was no point shooting it again, as it would basically be the same shot as the previous evening, cloud filled and all. One last look, and the important stuff: make a coffee and set off on the Little River Canyon Rim Parkway. I stopped at the first overlook. It was actually really dark, so I cranked the ISO up so I could handhold and still maintain a sharp image. To be honest and say there were some sketchy characters at the next couple of overlooks, and with grey skies and drizzle I felt it was not something I was going to miss out on by not stopping. I moved quickly onto Grace's High Falls. With all the water flowing in the river, plus last night's downpour, I was confident. And once again, that worked out well. Oh well, this is where the waterfall should be. Next stop was Eberhart Point. Let us ponder at what the view must be like from this house, perched right on the top of the canyon rim. Sadly, it was starting to get a little misty as the drizzle stepped up a gear, which was the portent for yeah, it's chucking down. A quick check on a few weather apps I used confirmed the worst. Heavy rain and thunderstorms across Alabama and eastern Mississippi for the next 24 hours. My original plan was to hike to my next two photo ops, but with no way to dry out afterwards, an alternative was required. Somewhere with cover. And that place would be the Clarkson Covered Bridge, and that will be in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed travelling along with us today, a like and a subscribe would be much appreciated. Until next time.